Hello, what have you got for us?
Good morning. Yes, business papers. Yesterday's big story, of course, radical proposals to change pensions, particularly those of 5 million state employees. Unions are warning that this could cause mass unrest and strikes. And the ongoing story also of soaring petrol prices. This newspaper says that it's going to be adding about £200 a month. £280 a month, but making people about £200 a month worse off than they were last year during the credit crunch. Good news, though, for the taxman, who's pocketing about 62% of the price of every litre. And finally, iPhone games, clearly big business. I don't know whether you've ever downloaded any games on your iPhone, but this is Angry Birds. Apparently one of the biggest downloads on the iPhone applications. They've raised £42 million to further develop games. Celebrity fans include Justin Bieber, David Cameron, and perhaps somewhat more incongruously, Salman Rushdie. So there you are. In other news, drivers lost nearly £60 million last year by failing to appeal against quote-unquote unfair parking tickets, according to insurer Liverpool Victoria. Unfair fines are those, for instance, issued in areas where parking signage is unclear, when the car was broken down, or whilst walking to the ticket machine. Only 1 in 5 of us currently appeal against a ticket, but the insurer says if you do challenge it, you've got a 90% chance of being successful and not having to pay a fine. Airline giant Virgin Atlantic has today announced the creation of 450 jobs under plans to expand its fleet this year. The launch of a new route between Manchester and Las Vegas, the increase of London departures, as well as new aircraft are behind the new posts. The recruitment drive is in addition to the airline's 200 jobs announced last year for its new contact centre in Swansea. And love him or loathe him, the media mogul Rupert Murdoch celebrates his 80th birthday today with no signs of slowing down soon. He will no doubt hope to celebrate in the coming weeks by pulling off what some argue could be his biggest deal ever, the £8 billion takeover of broadcaster B-Sky B. That's it from me. Of course, I'll be back in about half an hour interviewing the head of the Association of British Insurers about that story that you were talking about to do with personal injury firms and the cost of insurance.
Good. Sam, thank you very much.
See you later.
Out on car insurance and then subsequent injury claims, Sam.
Yes, that's right. That's just part of it. I mean, let's remember that this inquiry began towards the end of last year in response to just a huge increase in the cost of car insurance. So an average policy, comprehensive policy, shot up by about a third in about 12 months. And for some groups, like young male drivers, it went up by as much as 50%. So an influential committee of MPs has issued a sharp criticism of the insurance industry for encouraging injury claims after car accidents. The Transport Select Committee said it wants to break up relationships between some insurers and claims management firms, as they can drive up the cost of claims and policies. Here's the experience of one breakfast viewer, Chris, after he had a very minor accident. Well, Nick Starling, Director of General Insurance and Health at the ABI, joins me this morning. Nick, good morning. Car insurance premiums have rocketed in the last 12 months. How do you account for that?
We account for that because there's been a huge increase in the number of cost of personal injury claims, driven by claims management companies associated with very high legal costs. Road safety has been improving in recent years. The insurers haven't seen that. They've just seen accidents, personal injury claims going inexorably up.
Now, you're blaming these companies. This report says you're in bed with them. Which one is it?
Of course we're not in bed with them. We don't like this system. It's a dysfunctional system.
So your members don't take referral fees? That's wrong, is it?
Our members do take referral fees because they have to try and have some control of the system they're in to make sure that the business doesn't go to the wrong sort of people. We are arguing for the abolition of referral fees, and the Transport Select Committee, we think, has missed a real trick here in not making its main recommendation that we should have sweeping reform of the personal injury compensation system, as we've been arguing for many years.
So you're calling for all your members now to not take referral fees, are you?
We're arguing that referral fees should be abolished, but you have to do that across the piece because, of course, other people in the system take referral fees.
But the report also says that you, as an industry, should be setting up a police unit to investigate some of these fraudulent claims. Is that realistic? Will it help?
The insurance industry has done masses around fraud in recent years. It set up the Insurance Fraud Bureau 5 years ago. It's been driving the analysis and investigation of these claims. Now, of course, we'll look at something like a police unit, but the police are there to serve the public as a whole, and we don't want a system where you only investigate fraud if the insurance industry is prepared to pay for that investigation.
Right, now, just very quickly, where are premiums going to go over the next 12 months?
Well, if the system isn't reformed, if we don't tackle other issues like young drivers, then I can't see anything other than costs increasing and prices increasing. But there's lots of scope to reform personal injury, to tackle young drivers, to bear down on fraud. And if that happens, then premiums will follow.
Nick Starling, thank you very much. Premiums going up for all of us next year.
Sam,